Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. This is Mike here with another mixed bag of goodies. Um, I gotta stop right here and say thank you to a couple people um, and welcome a bunch of people. I've got well over 300 new subscribers this week, so I wanted to say hi to you guys and thank you guys for subscribing and showing a little support. I also have to thank Jeff over at Top Flighter Mouse, which is where most of you guys heard about me from. And for those that don't know, Top Flighter Mouse filmed a muzzle brake design that I worked up with him, and it looks like it's going to start helping my business out a little bit, helping me grow. It's definitely grown my YouTube channel. I went from, I think, 48 subscribers at the beginning of the week before Jeff showed the video, and now I'm at 380 or 390, something like that. So thank you very much to all of you guys that have helped out, and also thank you to my buddy that is building my website, which brings me to the next thing, my new website. I do have a new website coming soon. It's got a coming soon page up right now. It's not finished yet. We're still in the process of putting all the finishing details on it, but the web address is md-machining.com. And that is going to be a place where you guys can go and look at the stuff that I machine. It'll have pricing on everything that I make and information on how to order. For those of you that are interested in purchasing any of the muzzle brakes that I make, whether it be a threaded muzzle brake for a rifle or the heat shrink fit for the shotgun, or if you want a threaded brake for a shotgun, if you have a shotgun with a threaded barrel. I can't do the thread and choke style just because the machining on that is quite intensive. Machining on really thin metal like that is outside my capabilities with the machinery that I have. So if you guys are interested in purchasing a muzzle brake, you see something you like or you're interested in it, you can contact me via email at mikedittman81@gmail.com. It's basically my first and last name from this YouTube page, 81@gmail.com. And you can send me the information and we'll communicate there. For the shotgun brakes, what I need is the diameter of the barrel and the size and placement of the sight, whether it's a bead or a rail, a vented rib, and that'll allow me to be able to machine it to fit your specific shotgun. Now, I have a couple different people that I know that have identical shotguns, and measuring their shotguns, they're off by a couple thousandths of an inch. Now, machining the press fit or a tolerance fit where you heat the part up and set it on, let it cool and clamp, for under an inch, which most shotgun barrels are, the tolerance is between 1 and 2 thousandths. So if your measurement that you give me is off by thousandths of an inch, the muzzle brake might just slide off, or it might not fit at all. It might not fit even if you heat it up. So the dimensions need to be as precise as possible down to the thousandths of an inch. The turnaround time on muzzle brakes varies on how much work I have at the time. I can usually get a muzzle brake done in a day, or a few of them done in a day, depending on what I have going on. If I've got another fabrication job that I'm working on, I'll have to finish that to switch the machines over back to doing the muzzle brakes. So right now it's turnaround, I'm going to say 2 to 3 weeks. Might be a little bit more, could be a lot less, just like I said, depends on what my workload is like at the time when I receive the order. But if you would like, check out the website, which I'll put a link up in this video and I'll have it in the description. And I'll probably throw a comment with it on there too. The website will have the information. If you email me, I can respond. I try to respond back every day. Before I go to bed, I'll sit down on the computer or go on my phone and answer all the emails that I can. Also, if you send me a message and you don't have the reply enabled, I have no way to respond back to you. And I would love to have your business, but I don't have the time to to click on your channel, search for your message system to be able to message you back. So please make sure that you don't have it marked so nobody can reply to you. It makes it kind of hard to send a response back. So on this video, I'm going to go over the measurements. I'm going to bring you guys in a little closer and show you how to measure the shotgun barrel. And then I also have my 270 build completely finished and all painted up and put back together. So I'm going to show you guys how that turned out and what it looks like. So thanks again to Jeff from Top Later Mouse. Thank you guys for subscribing, and hopefully we'll get some cool stuff done here in the next couple of weeks. Alright, so here is my awesome butcher paper, i.e. the backside of a big calendar that I got for free. The way that the information I need is the diameter of the barrel and the location of the sight, whether it's a bead or a rib or what. So the first measurement that we're going to get is the diameter of the barrel. Now these calipers measure down to the 10,000ths and they're pretty decent quality, so I trust these. These are usually right on par with the micrometers that I have. So what you're going to do is you're going to measure in a couple different spots as best you can. What I recommend is doing at least 3 positions. Measure here, and so that measurement is 2.2380. So write that measurement down, measure here, and measure here. Take all 3 of those, add them together, and divide it by 3, and that's the average diameter. There shouldn't be that much of a difference on a shotgun barrel, but just to be on the safe side, that's what I need. And then the position of the sight. So this is the muzzle end, so the sight's here. I need the distance from the end of the barrel to the very front leading edge of that sight. So that measurement there, and then the width, how thick is that sight, and not just the top, because most of them have a little ball on the top like this, and they kind of come down to a nut, and then they have a threaded post, something similar to that, that threads into the barrel. And I need the measurement of the widest point here, and then the distance from the end of the muzzle to the barrel, or the end of the muzzle to the sight. And with those measurements I can get everything machined out, cut the slots into the brake to get the fit up to be as accurate as possible. So if you don't have access to a micrometer, that's what I recommend, is using a micrometer to take the measurements. Calipers may work, just make sure you zero them out, clean off the jaws, zero it, and take the measurements carefully, applying the same amount of force on all 3 measurements to get the average. That should be close enough as long as it's done properly, but all this is reliant on the measurement. The heat fit is 1/1000th of an inch difference to 2/1000ths of an inch. That's a very, very small amount. The human eye can only detect 5/1000ths, around 5/1000ths thickness. So we're talking less than you can see with your eye of difference. Can make the brake either slide on and off or be a heat fit. So that's very, very important to get that information correct. And then lastly, I have finished my 270 build, so I'm going to move the camera around and set it down and show you guys how that turned out. Alright, so here is my 270, all finished and painted out. I decided to do the scope. I wasn't originally going to do it, but I did some research and found that the Duracoat will bond to the anodized finish on the scope with no problem, so I went ahead and did that all up. I even did the same camo pattern on the muzzle brake itself, which turned out pretty nice. Stuff's falling all over the place, and I was really happy with how this turned out. It ended up being more work than I originally thought, not because it was really more work, but just because I wanted to do more. I got the bottom metal, everything done with the digital camo pattern. And originally I was going to use a stenciling kit that I had purchased, which I did use for some of it, but a lot of it was my own hand cut stencils because the kit that I bought did not have female stencils. So it was use their kit and kind of make do taping a bunch of stencils together, or just really quickly cut my own stencils. So I opted to just cut my own. And I taped up all the dials in the scope, so I still have those lines that are original and the adjustment pieces, but I did pretty much every single part on the gun in the camo pattern, and it turned out looking pretty darn good. I'm pretty happy with it. Hopefully now I can get it sighted in and go kill something with it.